Arabic names were historically based on a long naming system. Most Arabs did not have given, middle, family names, but a full chain of names. This system was mainly in use throughout Arabia and part of the Levant. Structure of the Arabic name. Ism. The ism is the personal name. Most names are Arabic words with a meaning, usually signaling the hoped-for character of the person. Such words are employed as adjectives and nouns in regular language. Jafar means rivulet, Ali means exalted, high. Generally, the context and grammar differentiate between names and adjectives, but Arab newspapers sometimes try to avoid confusion by placing names in brackets or quotation marks. A very common name is Muhammad, used throughout the Muslim world, including parts of Africa, Arabia, the Middle East, South and Southeast Asia. The name may be abbreviated to MD, Mode, MUHD, or simply M in many cases, in which case the second given name is the one most commonly used. This can be seen in many names in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Malaysia, Indonesia and the Philippines. MD, Dinar ibn Rayhan. Mode, Amer Tanvir, MD, Osman. Muslim practices. A common form of Muslim Arab names is the combination of Abd followed by a description of God. A particularly common masculine example is Abdullah. In deference to God, Abd is usually not used in conjunction with prophets' names. Nonetheless, such names are accepted in some areas. This practice is not exclusive to Muslims in the Arab world. For example, in Lebanon and Egypt, Abdul Masih is commonly used as a Christian last name. The non-Muslims Amir Suri and his son Muhammad ibn Suri of the Ghurayr dynasty used Muslim names even though they were non-Muslims. Muslim names like Muhammad are used by non-Muslims such as the Kalash people. Non-Muslim converts to Islam are permitted to continue using the native language non-Arabic, non-Islamic names if they do not carry any polytheistic connotations or meaning. Arab Christian practices. To an extent, most Christian Arabs have names indistinguishable from Muslims, except that they almost never use explicitly Islamic names, e.g., Muhammad. Some common Christian names are Arabic versions of Christian names. Names of Greek, Armenian, and Assyrian, Aramaic origin. Use of European names, especially French, Greek and, to a lesser extent, Spanish ones. This has been a centuries-long convention for Christian Arabs, especially in the Levant. For example, George Habash, Charles Helau, Camille Shamoun. Names in honor of Jesus Christ. Abd al-Yasu, Ahmad al-Yasu, Abd al-Masih, Amat al-Masih. Derivations of Masih, Masuhun, Amshar, Mamsu and Musay. The root ms literally means to anoint and is cognate to the Hebrew Mashiach. Abd al-Ilah is a Christian equivalent to the common Muslim name Abdullah. Laqab. The laqab is intended as a description of the person. For example, the Abbasid Caliph Harun al-Rashid. Harun is the Arabic form for Aaron and al-Rashid means the rightly guided. The laqab was very popular in ancient Arab societies. Today, the laqab is only used if it is actually a person's birth surname, family name. Nasib. The nasib is a patronymic, a series of patronymics. It indicates the person's heritage by the word ibn or ibnash. Ibn Khaldun means son of Khaldun. Khaldun is the father's personal name or, in this particular case, the name of a remote ancestor. Several Nasib names can follow in a chain to trace a person's ancestry backwards in time, as was important in the tribally based society of the ancient Arabs, both for purposes of identification and for socio-political interactions. Today, however, Ibn Bint is no longer used. The plural is abna for males and banat for females. However, Banu or Bani is tribal and encompasses both sexes. Nisba, the Nisba surname, could be an everyday name, but is mostly the name of the ancestral tribe, city, country, or any other term used to show relevance. It follows a family through several generations. The Laqab and Nisba are similar in use, thus, a name rarely contains both dynastic or family tal. Some people, especially in Arabia region, when descendant of a famous ancestor, start the last name with an Arabic noun which means family or clan, like the dynasty al-Saud or al-Sheikh. Is distinct from the definite article. If a reliably sourced version of the Arabic spelling includes, then this is not a case of the definite article, so al should be used. Ahl is sometimes used and should be used if the Arabic spelling is. Dynasty membership alone does not necessarily imply that the dynastic is used, e.g. Bashar al-Assad. Example name: Muhammad ibn Salman ibn Amin al-Farsi. Muhammad ibn Sar al-Man ibn Amin al-Farsi. Ism: Muhammad Nasib. Salman Nasib. Amin Nisba al-Farsi. Muhammad, son of Salman, son of Amin, the Persian. This person would simply be referred to as Muhammad, or by relating him to his firstborn son, e.g. Abu Karim, to signify respect or to specify which Muhammad one is speaking about. The name could be lengthened to the extent necessarily desired. Westernization of Arabic naming practices and names. Almost all Arabic-speaking countries have now adopted a westernized way of naming. This is the case, for example, in the Levant and Maghreb, as well as some North African countries, where French or English conventions are followed, and it is rapidly gaining ground elsewhere. Also, many Arabs adapt to Western conventions for practical purposes when traveling or when residing in Western countries, constructing a given name, family name model out of the full Arab name, to fit Western expectations and/or visa applications or other official forms and documents. The reverse side to this is when Westerners are asked to supply the first name, father's name, and family name in some Arab visa applications. The westernization of an Arab name may require transliteration. Often, one name may be transliterated in several ways, as there is no single accepted Arabic transliteration system. A single individual may try several ways of transliterating his or her name, producing even greater inconsistency. This has resulted in confusion on the part of governments, security agencies, airlines and others. For example, especially since 9/11, persons with names written similarly to those of suspected terrorists have been detained. Common mistakes. Non-Arabic speakers often make these mistakes, separating the X of Y word combinations with Abdul. Arabic names may be written Abdul, but Abdul means servant of the and is not by itself a name. Thus, for example, to address Abdul Rahman bin Omar al-Ahmad by his given name, one says Abdul Rahman, not merely Abdul. If he introduces himself as Abdul Rahman, one does not say Mr. Rahman. Instead it would be Mr. Al-Ahmad, the latter being the family name. People not familiar with Arabic Sandi in genitive constructions. Habibu Llah equals beloved of God. Here a person may in error report the man's name as forename Habib, surname Ullah. Likewise, people may confuse a name such as Jalaluddin as being Jalaluddin or Mr. Uddin, when Uddin is not a surname, but the second half of a two-word name. To add to the confusion, some immigrants to Western countries have adopted Uddin as a surname, although it is grammatically incorrect in Arabic outside the context of the associated first name. Even Indian Muslims commit the same error. If a person's name is Abdul Rahim, others may call him Mr. Abdul, which would sound quite odd to a native speaker of Arabic, not distinguishing Allah from Allah. Some Muslim names include the Arabic word Allah. Here, represents the iron sound, the voiced pharyngeal fricative, and the apostrophe represents the hamza, and L is spelled and pronounced once. In Allah, L is spelled twice and pronounced separately. In Arabic pronunciation, Allah and Allah are clearly different, but Europeans, Iranians, and Indians may not pronounce some Arabic sounds as a native Arabic speaker would, and thus tend to pronounce them identically. For example, the name Allah ad-Din is sometimes misspelled as Allah ad-Din. There is a separate name Allah. Taking bin or ibn for a middle name, as stated above, these words indicate the family chain. Westerners often confuse them with middle names, especially when they're written as Ben, as it is the case in some countries. For example, Sami Ben Ahmed would be mistakenly addressed as Mr. Ahmed. To correctly address the person, one should use Mr. Ben Ahmed. Grammar. As between all languages, there are differences between Arabic grammar and the grammar of other languages. Arabic forms noun compounds in the opposite order from Indo-Iranian languages. For example, during the war in Afghanistan in 2002, a BBC team found in Kabul an internal refugee whose name they stated as Allah Muhammad. This may be a misspelling for Allah, for if not by the rules of Arabic grammar, this name means the Allah who belongs to Muhammad, which would be unacceptable religiously. However, by the rules of Iranian and most Indian languages, this name does mean Muhammad who belongs to Allah, being the equivalent of the Arabic Muhammadullah. Most Afghans speak Iranian languages. Such Arabo-Iranian or Arabo-Indian mixed language compound names are not uncommon in Afghanistan, Iran, Pakistan and Tajikistan. There is, for example, the Pakistani Indian name Allah-Ditta, which joins the Arabic Allah with the Persian Urdu-Ditta. Arab family naming convention. In Arabic culture, as in many parts of the world, a person's ancestry and family name are very important. An example is explained below. Assume a man is called Salah ibn Tariq ibn Khalid al-Fulan. Salah is his personal name, and the one that his family and friends would call him by. Ibn translates as son of, so Tariq is Salah's father's name. Ibn Khalid means that Tariq is the son of Khalid, making Khalid the grandfather of Salah. Al-Fulan would be Salah's family name. Hence, Salah ibn Tariq ibn Khalid al-Fulan translates as Salah, son of Tariq, son of Khalid, of the family al-Fulan. The Arabic for daughter of is bint. A woman with the name Fatima bint Tariq bin Khalid al-Ghazwami translates as Fatima, daughter of Tariq, son of Khalid, of the family al-Ghazwami. In this case, Ibn and bint are included in the official naming. Most Arab countries today, however, do not use Ibn and bint in the naming system. If Salah were an Egyptian, he would be called Salah Tariq Khalid al-Fulan, and Fatima would be Fatima Tariq Khalid al-Ghazwami. If Salah marries a wife, the children will take Salah's family name. Therefore, the son Muhammad would be called Muhammad ibn Salah ibn Tariq al-Ghazwami. However, not all Arab countries use the name in its full length, but conventionally use 2- and 3-word names, and sometimes 4-word names in official or legal matters. Thus, the first name is the personal name, the middle name is the father's name, and the last name is the family name. Arabic names and the biblical equivalent. The Arabic names listed below are used in the Arab world, as well as some other Muslim regions, with correspondent Hebrew, English, Syriac and Greek equivalents in many cases. They are not necessarily of Arabic origin, although some are. Most are derived from Syriac transliterations of the Hebrew Bible. For more information, see also Iranian, Malay, Pakistani, and Turkish names. The popular romanization of the Arabized and Hebrew names are written first, then the standardized romanization are written in oblique. Notice that Arabized names may have variants. If a literal Arabic translation of a name exists, it will be placed after the final standardized romanization. If an Arabic correlation is ambiguous, will be placed following the name in question. Yasu is the Arab Christian name, while *R is the Muslim version of the name, as used in the Quran. There is debate as to which is the better rendition of the Aramaic Yeshua, because both names are of late origin. Yuhanna is the Arab Christian name of John, while Yahya is the Muslim version of the name, as used in the Quran. They have completely different triconsonantal roots, HNN versus HYY. Specifically, Yuhanna may be the biblical John the Baptist the Apostle. Yahya refers specifically to John the Baptist. The Hebrew word for strength, mighty deity, is usually represented as Il in Arabic, although it carries no meaning in classical and modern Arabic. The only exception is its usage in the archaic Iraqi dialect. Indexing. According to the Chicago Manual of Style, Arabic names are indexed by the surnames. Names may be alphabetized under Abu Abd and Ibn, while names are not alphabetized under Al and Ellen are instead alphabetized under the following element.